Very good morning to all of you. So today I am going to discussing regarding the computer fundamentals. So nowadays most of the people are interested to work in the IT industry, or as well as the most of the transactions, as well as most of the all the operations in the real world scenario can be done with the help of a digital only. So these digital things can be performed with the help of a devices like a computers or some basic electronic devices. So for that purpose, each and every employee who are working in the IT industry as well as non-IT industry, they must know some basic things regarding the computers, how the computer is working, what are the basic fundamentals of the computers, how it will work in the real-time scenario, as well as what are the components present inside the computer. These are all very important for the any employee in the any industry. So for the purpose, I need to share some knowledge regarding these basic fundamentals. Today our topic is introduction to computer, introduction to personal computer. So generally, what is meant by computer? A computer is an electronic machine that performs calculations based on the set of instructions. The first computers were huge room sized machine that took say teams of people to fit the corresponding computer, as well as the operating of the corresponding computer is also very complex, as well as it consumes a lot of space in the corresponding room itself. So those are the those are the some limitations present in case of the early versions of the computer, as well as a computer system consisting of a hardware as well as a software component. Hardware is nothing but a physical equipment. It includes a case, keyboard, monitor, cables, storage devices, speakers, and printers. Software includes the operating system and programs. The operating system manages the computer operations, like such as accessing, and processing the information. These are all related to the operating system. Generally, we have two types of a software. That is nothing but like a system software and application software. System software means that it is used for the coordinating the hardware devices with the user with the help of this software. That is nothing but like a system software. Like application software means that it can be used for the application point of like if you go for the MS Word, that is generally used for the typing the letters as well as PowerPoint. Those are all related to the application point of view. Those kind of the softwares are generally called as a application software. So that is some basic knowledge regarding the regarding. Now we will move to the next one. That is nothing but so generally we saw different types of keywords like cases. These are all the some important things. Now, so cases, CASES. Cases means the case of a desktop computer houses the internal components like such as a power supply, motherboard, central processing unit, memory, disk drivers, and associated to the adapter card. That is nothing but generally cases is nothing but which covers all the devices present in the CPU. Central processing unit is also consisting of a different kind of a components like motherboard, power supplies, CPU fan, and all the like memory devices and adapters. These are all internally present in the cases. Is nothing but it acts like a protecting device from the moisture, dust, like this. So as well as a device, a form factor refers to the physical design. Here we use one technical word, that is nothing but a physical device form factor. Here form factor means that the size of the corresponding design, the size of the corresponding physical design of the uh, corresponding cases. Generally we have three types of cases. That is nothing but horizontal case from full size computer, full size tower, and compact tower. These are the just four types of cases. That is nothing but here horizontal case means these were popular with the early computer system. These kind of cases are used in the early computer system. The computer was horizontally oriented on the user desk with monitor positioned on the top of the corresponding case. That means the case is present behind the corresponding monitor. Those kind of a cases are generally called as a horizontal case. Full size, the next version is nothing but full size tower. This is a computer case which is oriented vertically. It is typically located on the floor under or beside a desk or a table. So it provides a room for expansion to the accommodate additional components such as disk drivers, adapter cards, and more. It requires an external keyboard, mouse, and monitor. This full-size computer, full-size tower requires a external mouse, keyboard, and monitor for the operation. The third one is nothing but compact tower. Compact tower is nothing but it is like a small version compared to the full size tower. Compared to the full size tower, it is somewhat very small. So those kind of cases are generally called as a compact one. All-in-one towers means that all of the computer system components are integrated into the display only. So we can only observe the only monitor. The monitor itself, all the devices like motherboard, keyboard, CPU. So all the whatever the cases, how holds the all the equipment, those are all fabricated in the display itself only. We don't find any CPU in the corresponding computers. So those we have to say now. We see what are the picture, what are what is the diagrammatic. We will see the corresponding pictures related. So this is nothing but a this figure one shows the it is nothing but a full size tower. In full size tower, it is generally called as a monitor. It is nothing but a monitor. So this is generally called the outlook of this plastic and the fiber material is generally called a case. The internal components are generally in the internal part of the cases consisting of a motherboard, CPUs, as well as adapters. All the devices are present inside this box. This outer panel is generally called as a case. The second version is nothing but second time. So this is generally called as this second figure shows that it is a compact version compared to the previous one. This size is very small compared to the previous one. This size is very small, so that's why it is called as a smaller version of a full size tower. And third one is nothing but all-in-one type. So all-in-one type. So in this case, in this computers, we don't find any kind of the CPU on beside of this computer. So this type of a in this place in the previous case we observed one box beside the corresponding monitor. So that is generally called as a CPU. But in case of this full size tower, we don't find any kind of the CPUs like that. So this kind of the computers are generally called as a all-in-one type. That means all the CPU and the monitor are fabricated in the single device itself. That is generally called as a all-in-one type. So these are the different kinds of the cases present in the computers. The next thing is that, so what are the power supply? Generally, what are the power supply? Generally, if you want to work with the computer, we need to supply some power supply. So what are the different types of a power supply? Generally, power supply means that electricity from the wall outlets is provided in the alternating current. Generally, AC is nothing but alternating current. Generally, in the household purpose, we are using the AC only. Suppose if you want to connect the power supply to the computer, just we are plugging the corresponding plug to the wall outlets. The wall outlet produces the AC current only. So that is connected to the corresponding uh, plugin, and it will provide a DC supply. Actually, the computer operated with the DC supply only. So for that purpose, we need to convert the alternating current to the DC current with the help of a rectifying. Rectifying is a device which is used to convert AC to device. That is generally called as a rectifier application actually. So in this following describes the various computer desktop power supplies form factors that evolved over a time. In the previous in the evaluation of the power supply, we have a different types of a power supplies. That is nothing but advanced technology, AT. So AT is nothing but advanced technology. This is the original power supply for the legacy computer systems now considered obsolete. So this is one type of a power supply. And the next version of the advanced technology is nothing but advanced technology extended. It is also called as ATX. This is the updated version for the AT, but is still considered to be the obsolete. As well as the next one is nothing but ATX 12 volts. This is the most common power supply on the market today. It includes a second motherboard connected to provide a dedicated power to the CPU. There are several versions of ATX 12 also available, as well as the next one is nothing but EPS. EPS 12. So this is only originally designed for the network servers, but now commonly used in the high-ended application. That means EPS is used for the high-ended applications like in the server stations and network stations. This kind of a power supply are used for that one. So nowadays, most of the computers are also using this kind of the high-ended desktop. So these are the related to the power supply. So the different connectors also provided different voltage. The most common voltage supplies are 3.3 volts to 5 volts and 12 volts, and 3.3 volts and 5 volt supplies are typically used by the digital circuit, while 12 volt supply is used to run motors in the disk drivers fans. Actually, in the supplying of the total power supply, so we need to distribute the total power supply to the different devices like CPU fans, and these are all uses up to the 12 volts power supply. So the remaining 3.3 volts to 5 volt supplies are typically used for the digital. Most of the digital circuits are operated with the 5 volt supply. Generally, we consider for any digital operation, 5 volts is generally called as a 1. So logic 1 can be represented with the help of a 5 volts. So that means for digital circuits, we are applying only 5 volt supply. So this is just a power supply, computer power supply, how it is, this is depicted in this figure. We can represent the computer power supply. So this is a this kind of the box is present inside the CPU box. This is generally called as a power supply box. Power supply box. This is nothing but a CPU fan for existing. It act as a existing fan for that purpose. So it is connected to the. This indicates the AC supply connector. So internally it converted to the DC and it is applied to the all the remaining components present in the Kuspani computer. So the next one is nothing but. So these are all the different types of connectors in case of the. These are all the. So power supply, computer power supply connect. So these are all connected. The computer power supply is connected to the different types of pins. Here the first one is nothing but 20 pin or 24 pin slotted computer. So this is directly connected to the motherboard. SATA cable is also used for the one type of a connector, as well as a Molex keyed connector. And the next one is nothing but as well as a badge keyed connector, 4 pin to 8 pin auxiliary power connector, and 6 by 8 pin PCI power connector. So these are all the different types of connectors used in the internal parts of the computer. So these kind of the cables are used to connect the corresponding computer to supply the power from the main computer power supply, as well as if you see the. So these are all the some descriptions which type of devices are used for the different types. So generally in the first diagram itself we observe the 20 pin or 24 pin slotted connector. So it is generally used for to connect it to the motherboards. 24 pin connector has a two rows, each one having a 12 pins, as well as 20 pin is also having a two rows. It is also slotted into two rows, each row consisting of a 10 pins. SATA keyed connector. It is connected to the disk drivers. Suppose if you are using for the hard drives, those are kind of the applications we are connected the power with the help of a SATA cable, as well as connector is the wider and thinner than the Molex connector. And the Molex keyed connector connects the hard drives, optical drivers, and other devices. And the third one is nothing but a badge keyed connector. It is also used to be connected to the legacy floppy disk, and it is also it is also smaller than the Molex connector. And third one is not the fourth one, fifth one is nothing but 4 pin to 8 pin auxiliary power supply. This is used for connector has a two rows of 2 to 4 pins and supplies the power to the different areas of the motherboard. The auxiliary power connector is the same shape as the main power connector, but it is somewhat smaller compared to the previous one. As well as 6 by 8 pin PCI power connector, it is used to the connector has two rows for 3 to 4 pins and supply power to the internal components. So these are all the different kinds of the power supply connectors used for the uh, used to supply the powers. So this is also one type of just some description regarding the power supply voltage. As a plus volt plus 12 volts can be represented with a wire color yellow. It is used for the disk drive motor, fans and cooling devices in the co-spanning computer. As well as minus 12 volts is represented with the blue line. It is used also for the early programmable P, we are connected for the PROM, and 3.3 is represented with a color orange. So most newer CPUs some type of a system memory and AGP video cards, and 5 volts is with red and minus 5 with white, and 0 volts is with the ground. So these are all the some colors representation for the power CPU powers. So the next one is nothing but, so that is a brief discussion regarding the power supplies. So the next thing is nothing but motherboards. So motherboards are very important. Motherboard is nothing but it is the heart of the computer generally. Most of the operations can be done controlled with the help of a motherboard. So generally motherboard also known as a system board or the main board. It is a backbone of the computer as shown in the figure beside. So the motherboard is a printed circuit board. Generally, motherboard is nothing but a PCB. It is a printed circuit board that contains buses, electrical pathways that interconnect electronic components. These components may be soldered directly to the motherboard or added using the sockets or expansion slots or ports. So that is a component. So what are the components present in the? So there are some connections on the motherboard where computer components can added shown in the figure. So as well as if you observe the diagram of the, if you observe the picture of the motherboard, it is a, so it is a motherboard picture. So it is just a graphic, it is a depicted picture for the motherboard. It can be appeared in the real time. It is like a maximum, most of the motherboards can be appeared in the green color actually. So these white color lines are indicated the some soldering. If you want to connect the corresponding components in the motherboard with the help of their soldering, or it can be used for the some connecting devices like a cables like this. As well as, so in this motherboard also we have a different types of components are present. That is nothing but a central processing unit. So this is a considered to the brain of the computer. So CPU, central processing unit, is a, it is also called as the brain of the computer. And the second one is nothing but random access memory, RAM. This is a temporary locations to store the data and application. Random access memory is used for the temporary point of view only. Suppose if you want to run any program, if you want to working with your programming languages, at that time the compulsory the programming can be stored in the RAM itself, then only we can executed the corresponding. Otherwise it is not executed in the CPU, it is not executed in our computer also. So second one is nothing but expansion slot. These provide locations to the connect additional components. Suppose if you want to increasing the uh, suppose if you want to increasing the range of the computer, that means if you want to increasing the performance, we need to add some extra circuitry, so that can be accommodated with the help of a expansion slot. Like suppose if you want to increase the RAM size, so expansion slots are useful. As well as a chipset, this consisting of an integrated circuit on the motherboard that controls how systems hardware interacts with the CPU motherboard. And it is also establishes how much memory can be added to the motherboard and the type of the connectors on the motherboard. So these are all related to the chipset. The next one is nothing but BIOS, basic input output chip, and a unified extensible firmware interface, UEFI chip. So BIOS is used to help the boot the computer and manage the flow of data between the hard drive, video card, keyboard, mouse, and more. Recently, the BIOS has been enhanced by the UEFI, specifies a different software interface for the voting and the runtime services, but still relies on the traditional BIOS for the system configuration, power supply, power on self-test. So actually, this BIOS is also very important to start the computer. The booting is initially done with the help of a BIOS software. It is all just it is already stored in the ROM itself, random ROM, read-only memory only. So it is not erasable. Even the power supply is off. Next one is nothing but most chipsets consisting of a two types, that is nothing but a north bridge and a south bridge. These are the two important things in case of the chips, north bridge and the south bridge. North bridge means that it controls the high speed access to the RAM, that is nothing but high speed access can be done with the help of a north bridge, and the south bridge allows the CPU to communicate with the slower speed devices including the hard drives, universal buses and expansion slots. So that is a basic difference in the next two. Advanced, there have been many various motherboards developed over the years. There are some common motherboards. It can be represented with some names with so that is nothing but advanced technology extended. It is nothing but ATX model. This is the most commonly motherboard form factor. So most commonly used motherboard form factor. Next one is not micro ATX. This is a smaller form factor that is designed to backward compatible with the ATX, and micro ATX is boards often used in the some North Vision chipsets and power supply, all the full size, but it is somewhat small compared to the previous one. Next one, but ITX, it is a form factor gained in the popularly because of a very small. So ITX is a very small compared to the micro. So these are the some evaluations in the motherboards. So this is a motherboard diagram, actually how it represents. Generally, if you observe this one, it is the internal part of the motherboard can be connected to the motherboard. So motherboard connectors is nothing but just if you observe this one, actually this internal part, so this part is generally called as a CPU, as well as these are all related to the expansion slots and BIOS. So it is used to BIOSing chip is used for the boot up the next one. Chipset. This is nothing but like a north bridge and south. It is generally called as a chipset. Chipset consisting of a north bridge and south bridge. This is generally called as a random access memory RAM. So actually, so these are all related to the components of the corresponding motherboards. So next one is nothing but if you observe some more components in the motherboard very clearly, you can find we can observe the third figure itself indicated that. So these are all the motherboard with the components installed. If your motherboard is installed in the corresponding cases, it is appear like this. It is a chipset. So it is a chipset. It is a RAM and a CPU fans. These are all the some expansion slots. The third one is fourth one indicates that. So this is a motherboard component connections. How the internally it appeared like this. So this PCI expansion slot, north bridge and CPU, south bridge hardware. So that means this north bridge connect this north bridge used for the north bridge for the high speed and applications like RAM accessing and PCI Express graphics card and CPU. But the south bridge only deals with the very slow devices, low speed devices only. So that is a keyboard. So that is depicted in the picture. So the fifth figure indicates that these are the some description related to the motherboard where we are using what is the pin configuration. So these are all related to that one only. The next one is nothing but CPU architecture. So how CPU architecture? So this is a CPU architecture, CPU architectures. Just we will discussing CPU architecture in the next class. Thank you for watching this. I hope it is very useful for the all the educators as well as the it gives a very basic knowledge for each and every person who are working for the IT industry or maybe non-IT industry, even educator. So it is also, suppose if you have any repairs in the computer, if you are facing any kind of the technical issues in the computer, we can resolve our computer with this kind of some basic knowledge. So what are the problems in our computer? So how can you overcome that one? So just we have to explain, in case if you want to go for the any technician, what is your problem in case of your computer, just we have to know some basic knowledge about the corresponding components, what are the uses of that components, how can you it helps to the computer. So then only we can explain, so this motherboard is having some issues, so some soldering is not properly done. So this kind of the explanation is very useful for the solving the problems from the technician side. So this is a thank you for, we will see the next discussion in the next class itself. Thank you for.